This is Beyond a Reasonable Doubt with your hosts, Mark Garrigus and Gary Smith.
GPS, how are you today? But by the time this drops, we'll know whether they win Game 7 or not. Isn't that the timing of this?
That is certainly the timing of this, but by the time we're recording, I think we have to absolutely start with an epic ninth inning.
Two to Kirk. And with the 0-2 pitch. Line to deep center field. Dean on the run. Justin Dean will get there. It wedges in the bottom of the wall, and it's a dead ball. It's a dead ball. The umpire's hands are up, and the runners will head to second and third.
After review, field is confirmed it was a lost ball. By rule, runner pitch straight.
Yeah, and they did review this, and very quickly, our crew chief Mark Wegner says it's confirmed.
To drive in at least one of the runs. The infield's going to be playing back, so they're going to give up the one.
Second, winning run at the plate, and a pop-up right side, Freddie Freeman for the first out.
Wow.
Jimenez floats on left field. Hernandez makes the catch. Back to second. Game 7 tomorrow night. It's a game-ending double play. Kike Hernández to Miguel Rojas.
Wow.
I mean, it was one for the ages.
It's just this postseason has just been unbelievable. That game-ending double play, I wish I could just see that. I could watch that on an endless loop.
So could I. And when it comes to unbelievable, I'd like to also draw the attention of the audience to this. This is a text exchange between Mark and I, where at 10:06 a.m., and I'll draw everyone's attention to the times on the side of this. At 10:06 a.m., Mark and I agree at 10:30 a.m. we should be able to make recording work. And then we have a discussion about lunch. And then you go down and I will draw everyone's attention once again to the times. 10:27 a.m. Mark suggests the video of the Dodgers game would be great. 3 minutes, Mark? You're starting to make Adam look reasonable. 3 minutes. And by the way, there was the video. It is 10:34.
The video was there.
Yeah. So I would just like to draw your attention as a lunch preview to the fact that you can give me absurd direction that 3 minutes before recording, you would like a random video. And here it is. So there you go.
And by the way, did we get your eyes? Did the eyes go?
I mean, TBD, like check the comments. The eyes are the purview of the YouTube comments. 10:27. Get out of here.
I love it. Does that mean that I can ask to see the game-ending double play one more time?
I mean, sure, if you'd like. I'm going to have to cue it up. But
one snippet is worth the price of admission.
Oh, wow.
Jimenez floats on left field. Hernandez makes the catch. Back to second. Game 7 tomorrow night.
I mean, it was one of the more amazing plays ever. And thank the Lord that my son is still very young and he tapped out of trick-or-treating on the early side of what maybe a 9 or 10-year-old would have. And I was able to be back home to watch that and post the story to Los Angeles Mag's Instagram, the moment that the game was over and we had a Game 7 assured. But there you go. It was I agree with you. This postseason has been one for the ages.
It's really unbelievable. I don't care if you're a Dodger fan or not a Dodger fan. It's just play after play it's invigorating. It's wild.
Well, I think if you're not a Dodgers fan, that ball wedged in the wall is probably not invigorating, but I'll agree with you. As a Dodgers fan, I was invigorated.
You're right. But tell me something, because I love the idea. Baseball is very attractive to rules followers and people who like the strategy of the rules and the understanding of it. Were you aware of this rule?
I was not, to be honest with you. It does make sense to me that would be a rule, that if the ball is somehow stopped by a force that has nothing to do with the players, that you would have a remedy for that. But, I have this might surprise you, Mark, but within my very, very close friends and family, I am known as a fierce rule follower. I don't think that people
does surprise me a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think people who know me casually would necessarily think that, because I don't necessarily portray that, but I am very.
That is not when somebody says I've known you for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And somebody would say you rank Gary's top 100 traits, a rules follower would not be one of them.
I agree that that's not necessarily what I project, but as I think we'll discuss at lunch, I do in fact value following rules and doing the right thing very highly in my life. And, so it makes sense to me that if a ball is stopped from being in motion by something like, a piece of equipment that has stopped it, it does make sense to me that there would be a rule for that, and that it would allow base runners to advance 2 bases. Like, that all does make sense to me. There should be a remedy for that. The Dodgers should not have lost the World Series over a ball getting wedged in a wall. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I guess it would be similar, if I'm not mistaken, in basketball, and I've seen this
the ball getting wedged
often.
in the rim.
Yeah.
If the play stops because of something having to do with none of the players involved in the game, there has to be a remedy for that.
It's very interesting. Now, is that remedy appropriate, though? Because you do get in basketball, it just stops play. You don't get any kind of bonus for that.
I have to say it's appropriate in baseball because of the ground rule double. If the ball is going to bounce and then go over the wall, and that means that the base runner advances 2 places, then a ball being wedged in the bottom of the wall and the defense not being able to play it appropriately, 2 base advance, I think is inappropriate.
Can we see that again? So look at this. I'm going to test you again. The wedging of the ball, because I hadn't thought of it in terms of a ground rule double, but that really resonates in terms of the rule.
Jimenez floats one left field.
Oh, wait, hold on. I hadn't backed it up enough. Let's see here.
Line to deep center field. Dean on the run. Justin Dean will get there. It wedges in the bottom of the wall, and it's a dead ball. It's a dead ball.
Now, some of the commentary had said that it was very smart play on the center fielder and the left fielder, who both threw their arms up, because the argument was made that if they had just instinctively reached down and tried to play it, that then the ball would have been in play and they wouldn't have gotten that ruling. So apparently it is incumbent on the players to know the rules there and to react accordingly. So
yeah, I didn't know that was the commentary, but I thought how sharp of them to immediately raise their hands and know that rule.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's necessarily in this clip that I have pulled on 3 minutes notice. Thank you very much, Adam Jr. But if you were watching the full broadcast, it is the left-hander or the left fielder, I believe. Left field. I think it was Kike Hernández who was playing left field, who, if you watch the larger clip, he is running over towards center, and he is more in shallow center than the center fielder is. And he's the one who throws his arms up first. And then the center fielder, who is running towards the ball, sees him, and then he throws his hands up as well. So the center fielder, if not for Kike Hernández knowing that rule and throwing his hands up, may well have tried to play that ball and lost the World Series for the Dodgers. So I think all credit goes to Kike Hernández on that one.
That's a very.
And by the way, I could have the names. I could have the names wrong, but I believe that is the case. You
think you flip flopped the names?
I don't think so. I think I have them right, but I am not going to pretend I knew the Dodgers lineup and the Dodgers, fielding in the 9th inning perfectly. I'm going to just provide the chance that I'm making a mistake here. But I believe it was Kike who was running in from left and running into shallow center to be in a relay position, who saw that ball wedge, threw his hands up. The center fielder, in my view, saw him, then he threw his hands up, and that was what made the play stop.
Although, if you just play the clip, it looks like the center fielder is the hero here.
Oh, it absolutely looks like it's the center fielder. Actually, you know what? Watch. It is in this clip as I'm playing it back. So we're going to watch this one more time, because this is what people come to Reasonable Doubt for, is for baseball analysis from Mark and Gary.
From a rules analysis.
All right, now watch here. The left fielder is going to come into frame. His hands go up first, then the center fielders. And it's not in this clip, but in another clip, in a wider shot, in a replay that they showed, it goes left fielder, then center fielder, and then the second base umpire, who does the same thing and stops the play.
That's a very good analysis.
Yeah.
Very good. I like it. For the rules follower, Gary Patrick Smith, rules follower. Who knew?
Look, my attitude doesn't necessarily project it, but if you look at my work and my work ethic,
your body of work,
yeah.
Your body of work. Yes,
yeah, exactly.
I agree. Your body of work, there is a certain stick-to-itiveness to it that it reflects a rules follower. So maybe you've educated me here.
Maybe. I'll look forward to continuing that Friday at lunch.
Okay. I will see you Friday at lunch.
Are you going to text me 2 or 3 minutes beforehand with some absurd requirement that I dress as, I don't know.
Right, exactly.
Show up as, the Dodgers mascot or something I can't possibly pull off?
Yeah, I won't text you tomorrow after the game, or tonight after the game. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. You have predictions for today, since you will be either vindicated or thrown peanuts at.
I predict that I will be stressed as shit for the entire evening as I watch the game, and it weighs on what my responsibilities are at the end of it. I will say I saw at the end of Game 5, they put up a prediction that 6 of the last 7 Game 5 winners won a 7-game series. So it doesn't look great for the Dodgers in the historical annals of history, but I am optimistic nonetheless. I think the Dodgers are probably the better team, but I think when it comes to a Game 7, it's going to be all about, the way things break. I think Shohei is going to pitch, and I think that's, probably the best player in baseball in the past decade, maybe 2, and I think that bodes very well for us. But he's certainly not been resting recently. He's been playing quite a lot of baseball, so I'm cautiously optimistic, but the scales seem tilted against us.
Wow, that's such a negative Nancy view on this.
All right, don't not with the negative Nancy, because I heard you call Harvey that yesterday, and I'm not gonna. Exactly. You know what? And this goes back to one that I missed, Matt, last week. In 2 Angry Men, Harvey has constantly harped on you for saying, I'm old enough to remember. And then he screams about, you make us seem like we're 1,000 years old. Not this week, but last week on 2 Angry Men, you said, we're old enough to remember. And then you referenced something that happened in the 30s and 40s. When you say I'm old enough to remember and then reference something from the 30s or 40s, it makes you sound like you're 124 years old. You gotta stop. I have found that because, for instance, I'll give you, to your point and to this baseball discussion, one of the great baseball writers of all time, and I don't know, baseball is probably, to call him that would probably do a disservice, Ring Lardner. You ever heard the name Ring Lardner? I've heard the name, yes.
Ring Lardner, I'm going to guess, is also from the 20s or 30s. You want to do a little research there?
No.
Sort of prove your point. And Ring Lardner has coined so many phrases that I know only derivatively through my father. And I would agree. It makes your point, but they also become timeless. What did you find on Ring Lardner?
Ring Lardner was born in 1885 and died at the age of 48 in 1933. So I would say he probably did most of his work in the 20s and 30s.
Exactly. And one of the great commentators or astute observers of baseball of all time. So
that was back when there was nothing to observe but baseball.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of the golden era, but we've returned to the golden era. This postseason, there's no way you could characterize it as anything but the golden age.
No, I couldn't agree more. And it's just been exhilarating to watch. And I have been watching more closely because of my role and because of the Dodgers' role in the postseason. But if we are able to win tonight, which I am, as I said, cautiously optimistic, to which you called me a negative Nancy.
Yes.
If we are able to do it, we will be the first team in a quarter century to do it back to back in the World Series.
So here's to the Dodgers. Hopefully, when you're watching this, you're celebrating.
I would hope so as well.
Thank you, GPS. See you for lunch.
All right. I'll see you then, Mark. Thank you very much. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Reasonable Doubt. Subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/Reasonable Doubt Podcast.